courses that we looked at were a company called OneSource. We selected 5 different types of courses. We selected 2 that were similar to our course, and then we selected 3 other ones that were not completely similar, but we were looking for 2 things. We were looking for the condition of, for instance, their shop, the philosophy of their employees, their philosophy of the superintendent that worked there. We wanted to see not only could they maintain our golf course, but what was the philosophy that was built into the company, and how did these people think at different levels or different types of facilities in the company. And we did find out universally that the philosophy of the company was consistent throughout, regardless if it was a 4-star course like ours, or if it was, we visited Babes of Harry's, for instance. This company also has the 3 Tampa public courses. And we visited those, but we were not, again, we weren't looking for a comparable care, but we wanted to see at that level, did they exhibit a superior product, which they did.
What was the names of the courses, Bill?
The Babes of Harry's we visited in Tampa, the Groves over here in Palm Harbor, which you've been over there. It's a very well-maintained course. I can't think of the rest of them. Oh, on Top of the World. It's a 65,000 round course where you can, if you're a resident there, you play for free. So we wanted to see that type of level. How did they maintain a course that has 65,000 rounds? Again, we weren't expecting to find Heritage Pines, but we were trying to see the work ethic and the quality and the commitment of OneSource to their employees at every level. We went to the Heather down here. Yeah, the Heather, we met with the owner of the Heather. Talked to him. They've been up there 5 years. He's owned it for, he just bought it, he's owned it for 1 year. We interviewed them. We went to, remember the name of the course down in Palm Harbor, Evan, do you remember? Yeah, the one after Top of the World. I apologize, I haven't got the list in front of me because I didn't know we were going to discuss these, but it was a course that's between the Brooks, the Groves, which is a course that's very similar to ours in similar condition, and a little bit lower condition. They chose to maintain their course at a little bit lesser quality than ours. But again, what they did oversee, it was a, I believe it was a 27-hole facility. We looked at the shop, we talked to the superintendent, we talked to some of the employees, just trying to get a feel for the company. I don't know if most of you know that 3 years ago, when this was bid out, that OneSource also bid in that process.
Did any of the courses compare in quality condition of to ours?
Yes, the Groves clearly compared. Also, they do take care of 4 of the 5 courses in the villages, and we did drive up there because we had a number of residents that had been up there and said at the high quality level those courses are maintained at. So we tried to pick things that we could get to in a day, and again to see about the look for the company, see what kind of company. But the Groves matches up very closely to us. I might say it might be even a little tighter than we are.
That's an executive course.
No, it's an 18-hole championship course.
No, the Groves is no part of it. It's a shorter course.
Oh, is it 64? Well, again, we were looking for conditioning and not, playability as far as whether it had the same rating as ours, and it had very good conditioning.
Second question, and that is, if after a season the quality of the course is deteriorating, is there an escape clause built into this contract?
There's a 90-day out always in our contracts. So yes, if something would, I guess I want to stress on the things that Bob recommended. Bob said that we did with this RFP. Tommy Land, myself, and Dave Rogers of Valley Crest wrote the specific detailed specifications for the golf course and the common ground, down to fertilizer rates of overseeding. There's a rumor out there that one bid came in with no overseeding. The way the RFP was written, you either complied with everything in there, or you didn't. If you didn't, 2 of them right out of the box, we dismissed because they didn't even come close to it. They didn't even give us the specific on the golf course or the common ground. So we went back. We had some questions. I had some questions on the specifics. I went back to OneSource and asked them to put it in a format, the same format that Valley Crest had put it in, so I could lay graph over graph. They did that, and we're evaluating that now.
But I want to follow up on what Bill said. When we visited the golf courses, those other 5, we recognized that it's not an apple-to-apples comparison. Those golf courses contracted for something different than what we did, and we didn't have access to any of the contracts. But we did talk to some of the general managers and golf superintendents and asked for their feedback regarding the performance of OneSource. And all of them came back and gave a positive feedback, that they were happy with what the contractor was doing. They were meeting the requirements of the specifications that they gave them. And that's what we were there for.
And in most cases, they were there. In most cases, they were there 5+ years. It wasn't they were there a week. They were there long term. And these general managers and golf professionals were there long term, and been working together with them over a long period of time. In the case of the Groves, even though it's 64, they have had a long relationship with them, and said that their, as Valley Crest does for us, their operation continued to improve. That they didn't come in and they went backwards. The city of Tampa was very complimentary. They have just recently brought them on. They had no fairways when they brought them on. We saw overseeded fairways. So they have already made a very significant impact on that operation already. So like Bob said, again, we were trying to find out if they were meeting their specifics of the contracts, and that's why we tried to talk to every general manager in every golf professional.
And one thing else I want to say, there is no pre-selection here. We intend to go through all the criteria and evaluate the contractors against the set of requirements and the criteria that we established here. It's not that we're just looking at cost. When we constructed the RFP, we asked the contractors to submit their costs separate from the technical proposal, so that we wouldn't be corrupted by the cost quotes in determining who we thought was the better of the, or the best of the submissions.
And even in Florida Statute 720, when it talks about bidding a contract, it does say in there, at a certain threshold, which is 10% of your annual operating budget, you need to have competitive bids, but it states in there you do not have to select the lowest bid. It is up to the board to select whatever bid they feel is best, given all the factors like Bob just said, not just price. And it's stated in Florida Statute 720.3055.
Can I ask a question now? I'm confused because I know that you've done, I haven't heard anything really about the bids or where you're at. It's not on the agenda for Wednesday. What is the time frame that, and when do you expect to, I guess, vote on a decision?
We'll do the assessment, the evaluation, and then we'll develop a recommendation and give that to the board in January. We didn't want people to think that this was a rush to judgment, where we were just going to try to go through the hoops here and come back with a quick response.
And I appreciate that, because it is a big contract, 25% of our budget. So at one point you were thinking of trying to get it onto the January fiscal year, and so therefore if it isn't, we're operating under the current contract with Valley Crest, which goes through the end of March?
Yes, it does. Yeah, the only issue as far as fiscal year is if it was not Valley Crest, they are doing 90-day out. Essentially, it's just a computer, and whether Tommy wants, they would probably offer Tommy the position if it was another company, just like Valley Crest brought him in, but they would also offer the entire crew and Chris a position. So it's just if Valley Crest is not awarded the contract by the board of directors, then there will be a 90-day notice. So if that happens at the January board meeting, it'd be May 1st that the new company would start. If it's Valley Crest, it's just a matter of writing the contract. Their contract is, again, like you said, Tommy, is done at the end of March. So actually at the end of April. So then it would just be a matter of negotiating a new contract and just inking it with Greg and Harry from Valley Crest. It would be a lot more speedy. Obviously, the transition would be now, if it was a different company and Tommy stayed and Chris stayed, And the crew would, I'm telling you, the crew would stay. It says in our RFP that they have to give them a 90-day evaluation period. Then the only difference you'd see is different colored uniforms, but the entire crew and the knowledge and the capability to take care of this golf course would stay.
Let me understand that. If this went to another company, Tommy and his crew would stay here?
No, I'm not saying they would. I'm saying that they would most likely be offered a position. Yeah. No, I can't speak for the company. We're getting too far into the details of this. But I'm telling you that this is what companies do. The One Source does it, Valley Crest does it. When they take over an operation and have a good management team in place, yet the contract gets awarded to another vendor, it's in their best interest to hire the existing staff. Now, it says in the RFP, there's certain criteria that we have told them we want if they change superintendent. Let's say Tommy, it's awarded to them and Tommy doesn't stay. Then there's criteria in there that we get to see the criteria, established criteria for the superintendent that would get hired to take over this course. Yeah, I know there's a lot of rumors out there. It's tough for us, we can't really talk about it right now because of the confidentiality of the bidding. We don't want the bids out there. It's not fair to Valley Crest or One Source, either one of them, if numbers start getting thrown around. So, like Bob said, well, our focus right now, and just so you know, the four of us that are here tonight that's the task force. And what Val, Bob, Kevin, and I are trying to do is go through the individual specifications. I've been working on it for well over 3 weeks, trying to make sure. I told the board at a workshop last Wednesday, and Janice will verify this. My biggest fear was I wasn't going to get through to be able to lay the One Source specifications on top of the Valley Crest specifications on top of the RFP to make sure that all of them were being met. So I've been working tirelessly at that, and that's why I asked One Source to send their comments back in a different format so I could match them up with the RFP and with Valley Crest. So we get apples to apples, and they did that, and we are doing that now.
I would like to ask, since you went to 5 courses of One Source, how many courses additionally to ours for Valley Crest are you planning to visit?
I don't think any, Nancy, because I know as the operator, I have a great deal of confidence in Valley Crest. And I've been on their 4 of their other courses with Dave over the last 3 years I've been here. And I have a high level of confidence in what they can do. And I think that everybody in this audience does. I mean, we've seen it. I wasn't here 5.5 years ago when they took it over, but I saw a video, and it wasn't pretty. So it is an exceptional course right now. It's in exceptional shape. And, we're just trying to get through this and do the right thing for the residents. So,
why weren't there more golfers included on the task force?
Kevin plays golf. Bob's included, obviously, for his expertise with RFPs. I initially just asked Val, when we were going to renew it, Valley Crest contract, I asked Val initially to assist me. Val has a lot of experience doing this type of thing with contract awards. So she expressed interest in it, and I wanted to get Val more involved in this type of a process. So I asked her, we talked to Bob, asked him to join it because of the RFP nature of it, and obviously Kevin's the treasurer of the board, and anything that has a $4.5, $5 million consequence, I felt the treasurer should be involved with it.
Well, let me ask a question, and I don't mean to throw darts at what you just said. Would a golfer be able to evaluate a proposal to know if the fertilizer rates that the contractor was performing was adequate, or the pesticides?
Can I stand up? I've been waiting patiently. My name is Nancy Beckwith. I'm the co-chair of the Golf Advisory. I play golf, not well, but the one person that is missing in this is our golf professional. Where's Kevin's opinion, and why is he not sitting with you to determine what would be the best for our golf course? We're paying him. He's been here almost 4 years. I feel badly